Hey guys, so although YouTube has decided to not pay me for my videos anymore, it's not going to stop me from making videos. They will be kind of, I don't know, they're not going to come super consistently. Well, one, because I have a 4-month-old baby and they don't really work with your schedule, you have to work with theirs. But yeah, I'm still going to try and continue to make videos. This video, since I recently recorded the ZTE Blade Zmax by Metro PCS, I decided to do like a little comparison to the Metro PCS phone I had before that, which was the Galaxy On5, and it's a pretty big comparison between the two. There's really big differences between. So in case you were wondering, like, I think the Galaxy On5 is after tax probably around $50, while the ZTE Blade Zmax is $130, but after taxes might be $140, $150, something like that. So if you're wondering which one would be like the best budget phone, which are you going to get the most money out of? Is it worth paying the 100 something for the ZTE Blade Zmax, or should you go with something more simple and pay like the $50 for the On5? Both are good budget phones, but the ZTE Blade Max, I don't know. There's huge differences between the two, which we'll get into with this video. So the ZTE Blade Zmax, let me see, the Axon I think is their more premium line of phones, while the Blades are their budget line of phones. So like you have the Blade X Max, and this one is the one after that. The difference between the X Max and the Zmax, that's not what this video is about, so I'm just going to quickly let you know that the Zmax does have better features, but only slightly. The biggest difference would be the cameras, which we'll also get into that in this video. So we're going to go over the specs and go from there. So I got most of the spec information off the boxes themselves, and a little bit more information either off MetroPCS.com or like the actual websites like ZTE website and the Samsung's website. So the ZTE, or website, yeah, we're just going to call it the Zmax and the On5. So the Zmax is running an OS of 7.1 Android, while the On5 is running 6.0. The Zmax has a 6-inch Full HD display with 2.5D glass, so it's a huge phone. I like the bigger phones, but the On5 is 5 inches HD LCD display. The Zmax has a 16 megapixel plus a 2 megapixel rear camera, so yes, it's dual cameras. That is one of the biggest selling points of the Zmax, is that is one of the, I don't know if there's any other budget phone with dual cameras, but this one is a great price with dual cameras that actually work pretty well, which I'll show you in this video. And then, let's see, it has autofocus and an LED flash on the back as well. So the On5 has a 5 megapixel rear LED flash, so you see the big difference there. The Zmax has 16 megapixel plus the 2 megapixel rear, dual cameras, while the On5 is 5 megapixel. The Zmax has an 8 megapixel front camera, which is automatically just better than the On5's even rear camera. The rear camera is only running a 2 megapixel front camera. Or sorry, the On5 is only running a 2 megapixel front camera. So this is also the biggest difference, and one of the main reasons why I wanted to get the Zmax and be done with my On5 was memory and storage. This is a huge difference. The Zmax has 32 gigabyte internal storage, or internal memory, which can be it has, let me see here what I'm trying to, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But you can add a memory card, and you can go up to 128 gigabytes of memory on both phones with memory cards. But the Zmax has 32 gigabytes of internal memory automatically out the box, whereas the On5 only has 8 gigabytes of memory. Which, if you add all the in-phone apps that the apps come with, that you're probably not going to delete most of those because it can mess up the way the phone processes. That's using up a lot of your memory by itself. So I would run into issues where, even though I would only have like Facebook and Facebook Messenger, and then I would have Pandora on there, something simple like with just those few apps, I would not be able to save photos at all. So it's a huge difference in memories. 32 gigabytes is not like the biggest amount of memories, but compared to 8 gigabytes, it was perfect for me. Moving on, the Zmax has a 1.4 gigahertz octa-core processor, while the On5 is 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor, so the processor is even better. And with the memory, I forgot to mention that the Zmax has 2 gigabytes RAM, while the On5 has 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. The Zmax also has a fingerprint sensor, which the On5 clearly does not. So the Zmax's battery is 4080 milliamps, and they claim 31 hours of talk time. So this has a huge battery. This is a really good budget phone with a big battery. While the On5 is only running a 2600 milliamp battery that claims 18 hours of talk time, the Zmax has 528 hours of standby time, while the On5 is 384 hours of standby. And then for the glass, for some reason, I'm not sure if this is true, but I could only find that they both have Dragon Trail glass. Not sure if that's correct or not. Yeah, without taxes, the Zmax will run you $130. Without taxes, the On5 will be $40. So I don't have my tripod with me right now, so I had to kind of lean the phones. But on the left is the Zmax, on the right is the On5, so you can see a huge difference in size there. I do have a case on the Zmax. I'll go ahead and take that off really quick so that you can see the full effect of it. So there you go, that wasn't a thick case, and you can see clearly even without the case that the Zmax towers over the On5. So here is the back of the Zmax. It has like a honeycomb type thing here, which should help with your grip, whereas the On5, which I can tell you right now because I've been using it for over a year, is super slippery. But it does have like a faux leather type look to it. I don't know if you can see that right there with the light shining on it. So with the backs, the Zmax has the dual cameras up top, and I really like the way that they did this, because if you see, the Zmax's camera is like super flush to the back, whereas the On5 has a huge raise right there, so then you have to be concerned with scratching your camera if you lay it down on its back. So the On5, the power button is on the right side. The Zmax has a textured power button, and then both the volume up and down on its right side. Flip to the left side. The Zmax has a SIM card tray, which will hold your SIM card and your memory card. And the On5 has the up and down volume keys. On the bottom here, both have your headphone jacks, which is really important. The microphone, and then the charging. So the Zmax has a USB Type-C charger. The On5 has a micro USB charger. Then the tops here just have mics. Also on the back, love that they put the branding right in the middle. And you'll see the difference here. The ZTE has the fingerprint sensor right there, which I'll tell you right now, I will show you, but I'll tell you right now, the fingerprint sensor works extremely well for a budget phone. 9 times out of 10, I have no issues with it, and the 1% that I do have an issue is where I haphazardly put my finger on the fingerprint sensor, so it kind of struggles to read it. But most of the time, it connects perfectly fine. It works perfectly fine, and it's quick too. And then, so the On5 has a rear-facing speaker on the top, and the Zmax has one on the bottom. Neither speaker are super good, but it's a budget phone. You're not going to expect an extremely good speaker, but they're decent and they do get the job done. So on the front, I know this is like the weirdest of angles. I should have just got out my tripod. I'm sorry. Up there you have your cameras and your speaker. And you'll see the bezel size. They both have pretty decent bezels, but they're not the worst. They're not like really huge or annoying. So the On5 does have a actual physical home button, and the Zmax does not. That's one thing I will miss. I like a physical home button. That's just me though. So for the sake of the video, I put both phones on max brightness. The camera I'm using and the lighting that I have right now is not the best, but I will tell you in person, the On5 looks decent, but compared to the Zmax is super bright, vibrant, and crisp. The colors look amazing. Usually up here I have my time and weather, but since that has my location, I decided to remove that for the sake of the video. Both make good calling quality. Both have the option of video calling, but I'll tell you right now, my mom has the LG something 7 from Metro, I can't remember. The video calling did not work with her phone and the On5, but it does work with the Zmax and her phone. So I'll show you a picture I took with the On5, and I'll also show you a couple pictures I took with the Zmax. But the camera on the Zmax, I've heard a couple of people say that they've had some issue with the dual camera working properly, like with your bokeh setting. You can't see anything, can you? I tried to move you into a darker area. It's still not really helping all that much. But so you have bokeh up there on the top left, portrait mode on the right, and the monocolor where your pictures will be in black and white except for whatever color you choose to put in it. So you have blue, red, and green. This really doesn't want to show up on camera. But I personally really love the bokeh and the portrait mode with the dual cameras. So yeah, so my pumpkin is waking up, so I gotta go, but I will let you just compare the specs alone that I gave you at the beginning of the video and let you make your decision with that. In my personal opinion, using both phones, the Zmax towers over the On5 in every way imaginable. From build quality, excuse me, to display. Even though the speakers aren't the best, the speaker still sounds awesome. Cameras, processing, everything works amazingly. I haven't had any hiccups with this phone, no lag, and just the memory compared to the On5, the memory storage compared to the On5 is amazing. So in my opinion, the Zmax is one of the best budget phones on the market today. The only sad downfall is that it's exclusively for Metro PCS. But you can get the Zmax, which is not going to have the dual camera. Some of the specs are just like a few numbers below, very few numbers below. It's not like a huge difference, but it's going to be the closest thing. If you don't want to get it through Metro PCS, or if you can't get it unlocked, which it is a possibility to unlock this phone. But yeah, you can also go with the Zmax. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it wasn't the best quality, and I'm kind of like time limited. But yeah. Keep watching, keep subscribing, send me to 1,000 subscribers, and motivate me to keep working hard. And I appreciate every one of you that subscribe, watch my videos, and hit that like button. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. So I literally forgot to show you guys how the fingerprint sensor works. I'm going to have to remove my widget again. So, fingerprint sensor on the back, mind you, I have a case on it. I put the case back on, and the case does rise a little bit, but it does not get in the way of my finger. So here is the power button, fingerprint sensor, touch, on. And I'll show you from the front, touch, on. Okay, touch, on. So you can see how pretty quick it is, and it does work pretty much 100% of the time. The few times that I told you that it misread is like pretty much user error. Like even right here, it just did a user error, but I just put my finger sideways and it still worked. Okay, so I'll show you. My finger is not dead on. Okay, it didn't read. There it read. So user error. If you just touch it though, it's gonna work 100% of the time. It's quick and I love it.